Hello. There are going to be some changes around here. I'm just going to explain to you how some things are going to need to be different from now on. So here I am. I've been doing this for about 7 years, making my own music and getting it out on Spotify. And this is, believe it or not, the 130th episode of Adventures in Pop. But things have got to change. And let me explain why. Well, first of all, let me tell you what will change, and then I'll give you some context and explain what is going on. Have I completely lost my mind or decided to, change my life in a fundamental way? I think no to both of those questions. But from here on in, you will find out goes my theme music. No, I just said out goes the theme. Out goes the theme music. In comes getting to the point a little bit quicker and being a little bit more succinct, maybe a little bit better planned. Would you believe that sometimes I do these video casts with a kind of vague idea of where I'm going, and then I just sort of ramble until I get there. And it's great, except it does actually sound like I'm rambling until I get there. I'm hoping you're going to notice some better thumbnails. And maybe altogether, Adventures in Pop might be slightly shorter but more frequent, because I think that's probably also going to be helpful. And in fact, I might even try and start releasing my music a little bit more often as well, because otherwise there's a bit of a backlog building up, and it's all there, so I might as well release it. Hey. So look, my name is Simon Jacobs. This is Adventures in Pop. And as I said, episode 130, and let me explain to you why things might need to be different from here on in. Well, the short answer is, after all of this time making music and putting it out on Spotify and doing these fabulous Adventures in Pop videos for you, and I'm glad you're here, because otherwise, it would seem a bit pointless, I probably should be doing a little bit better, I guess, than I am. Better at what, you might ask? Good question. I think generally I seem to, I'm doing all right, but I've reached a bit of a plateau. I seem to achieve about the same numbers on YouTube, pretty much all the time. I'd say the same with Spotify as well. There are a few exceptions, but generally, my songs on Spotify, get into the tens of thousands, somewhere between 20 and 60, which is fine. But it's the point is, it's not actually. If I was doing this as a youngster, and this was my my main source of income, I'd be eating 1 tin of baked beans every 6 months, and that's not really good, is it? So I think what I need to do is to be a bit more conscientious, a little bit more thorough about, trying to professionalize a little bit of what I do, so that I can get to the next level. What is the next level? I have no idea, but let's try and get there, shall we? And if I get there, then I can tell you what the next level is like. It's been interesting. Okay, so why has this come about? Well, apart from thinking I could possibly be doing better, a little while ago, I did some promotion with Forbid Media in the States, and we worked on a couple of songs. It cost a fair bit of money, and they found that they had difficulty really in kind of getting the kind of streams and feedback that they would expect. So they were using Facebook ads, that's their thing, rather than playlisting, and they were having trouble really kind of achieving the kind of numbers of streams that they thought they should reach. And so there was a kind of a suggestion of underperformance there. So when I wrote to them afterwards and said, so what do I do next? Why is this? Where do I go? The answer came back. Wait for it. The answer came back. Essentially, in a nice way, why don't you write better songs and produce them better? Once I'd picked myself up off the floor and had stopped being very, very upset and, insulted by such appalling feedback, it struck me that there might be something in that. So, if you're wondering why your songs are not doing better, it could just be, there is just a chance that it could be that you just need to write better songs and improve your production skills. So, I've been taking a look at some of my recent songs and sort of checking whether they kind of meet a new standard. On the whole, they don't. So I've been looking at making improvements. So one song, which I've actually played on Adventures in Pop a few episodes back, it's called Ibiza Sunset, and I like Ibiza Sunset, except I didn't like the chorus very much, so I've started trying to change the chorus. I talked about that last time round, about how difficult that is to do, and indeed it is proving quite tricky, but I think it's a worthwhile thing to go for. But more importantly, when I'm listening back to my recordings, to the takes when I'm singing, to the guitar playing, to all of the bits and pieces, I'm being a bit more careful now about, is it 100% accurate? Can I hear any glitches? Is anything out of tune? And if I'm doing a bank of vocals, I have to make sure that they are all really in sync, because sometimes, frankly, they're not. So that's been really interesting, and I'm gonna find you an example of how I've tried to get my vocals absolutely right. And the best way of doing this, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is to sing them over and over. Sing one really good vocal line that you're happy with, then use that as the one that you copy and sing over and over, rather than actually just copying the line, which can create some strange frequencies. Much better to sing it, but you've got to do it accurately. So I have been looking at what I do and trying to work out if there are improvements I can make. And of course, the answer is yes. So I think this is going to be about spending a bit longer with my recordings before I release them. Maybe releasing songs more often, and certainly talking on Adventures in Pop more frequently. Let's have a quick look right now at some of these banks of harmonies I've been working on. Let's just find one or two, and I'll just show you what I've been doing. When we get on the train, it's like we're traveling back in time again, where every village has a church and a steeple, and the police only question the foreign-looking people. Now on this one, there are only 4 lines of harmonies, but again, they had to be absolutely right, and it sounds a little bit like this. Different song. Here we go. You look in my eyes, you're the magician. I didn't realize what I've been missing, but that is all changing, 'cause now I can tell I'm falling under your spell. So alongside trying to improve the songwriting and the quality of my productions, and doing shorter and more often Adventures in Pop, the other thing I need to explore is YouTube Shorts. And I'm not talking about Summerware, I'm talking about those little videos, those under 1 minute videos that apparently are being, uploaded to, or being watched on YouTube at some ridiculous rate of several billion a day. And I haven't done any of those. So as you can tell, I'm having to update the way that I'm working, and that is kind of what I want to share with you this time. And I will be back soon with more succinct and extremely thoroughly researched and prepared Adventures in Pop. I hope you're going to enjoy the new look me as much as I hope that I am going to enjoy it. And if I don't enjoy it, I'll tell you, and we'll just go back to being, slovenly and amateurish. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being my friend, and I'll talk to you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.